What's going on, you guys? Keith Carnes here, and welcome to another Star Wars video. Today we are talking about next year's movie, Star Wars Rogue One. Now, usually here on my channel, we're being flooded with The Force Awakens news, and that's very much welcome. But today we're going to look at something a little different. This time we're going to look at Rogue One, of course. I've done some videos on this movie before, so this should come as no shock. So Rogue One to bring back a classic Star Wars villain. Now, of course, this is just rumor and speculation at this time. Obviously, Disney and Lucasfilm are not going to be giving anything away, especially when it comes to Rogue One, because the movie is still over a year away, and we don't even have The Force Awakens, and we don't even know everything about The Force Awakens. So Rogue One is probably kind of their last priority as it comes to bringing us the latest news. Anyway, Pixie making an appearance. There she is. Anyway, today we're talking, now this is spoiler alert, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I don't know what you're doing here, you've been warned. So apparently, classic Star Wars villain from the original movie, Episode 4, A New Hope, Grand Moff Tarkin, who is played by, of course, the late, great Peter Cushing, is supposedly making a return in Rogue One. As you guys know, Rogue One takes place between the events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and Episode 4, A New Hope, where we saw Grand Moff Tarkin, aka Peter Cushing. So a lot of people are probably wondering right now, well, if Peter Cushing is not with us anymore, if he's dead, how could they bring him to the movies? Well, this is the great thing about technology, especially with the advancement of technology going the way it was. They are actually supposedly bringing Peter Cushing back, but digitally. So he's going to be completely CGI, but he's going to look incredibly realistic. This is kind of similar to what they did with Michael Douglas's character in Ant-Man, with taking away his age. You know, as you know, Michael Douglas is up there in age. He's not a young guy anymore, so he's got a lot of wrinkles on his face and whatnot, and they were actually able to erase that with computer technology, and that's something that a lot of people, including myself, are completely blown away at. So it's something that could definitely be taking form in future movies, and Star Wars looks like they're jumping on that bandwagon right away. But instead of using somebody that's already alive and just editing his face after, they're actually taking somebody that's been dead for quite some time. Here's what an unidentified source had to say about how Grand Moff Tarkin fits into the plot. Quote, "This is one of the most complex and costly CGI recreations ever. Cushing is a pivotal plot line, as he was the one to create Darth Vader, and there's a whole backstory that will come out," end quote. So that's definitely interesting to hear, that we're definitely going to be diving more into Grand Moff Tarkin and Darth Vader's relationship. And I think with, you know, if Grand Moff Tarkin's going to be in this movie, I think it's a pretty much given that Darth Vader will be as well, even if both of them or just one of them isn't in it as much as the other characters in the story. As you know, we already have a main villain, and it's not Darth Vader, but Darth Vader not being in this movie it would honestly, if they didn't put Darth Vader in this movie, it would seriously feel like it's lacking something, and I truly believe that. The unknown source had to say, here's what the unknown source had to say about recreating the late actor's feet and legs, with the filmmaker scouring through the actor's Hammer Films horror titles. He said, quote, "They are going through hours and hours of old footage from the horror movies to recreate his legs and feet to produce realistic movements. It is eerie to see someone who has been dead for so long come to life on a screen," end quote. So it's definitely sounds like they're not being lazy about this. They're putting in the time and the effort, which is always a must, and especially when you're bringing back someone from the dead on the screen, at least. This is probably a little controversial. Some people may not agree with it. I personally think it's great as long as they do it right, and they give Peter Cushing. I really hope that they give him I hope they give Peter Cushing a justice. I'm sorry, it's just like brain fart there. I'm sorry. So I hope they do him justice, because he really deserves that. So that's about it for that news. Now, this is kind of a bonus thing, but I didn't want to make a video just off of one picture. I've done that in the past, and I just don't know why I did that. So somebody on Twitter by the name of Galen Merrick, just giving credit where credit is due, posted 3 Stormtrooper helmets, as you see here now. Should be by my head if everything went right in the editing process. Anyway, as you see, there is from left to right, there is a black Stormtrooper helmet. To me, this definitely resembles Darth Vader in some ways, and I don't know if that's what they were trying to go for, but he definitely has a Darth Vader look to him. Not because it's a black helmet, but the face of it just kind of, I don't know, it just reminded me of Vader right when I saw it. Next to it, we of course have the traditional Stormtrooper that we had in the original trilogy. Nothing really special there. And then next to it, we have almost like maybe a desert type of Stormtrooper. We've never seen this one either. Definitely interesting to see this. I like how, this movie is kind of a sequel prequel, but at the same time, they are bringing out new stuff that we've never seen in any of the movies, even though that this movie took place before the events of some of the other movies. So it's definitely interesting what they're doing. This is very, very exciting news. Peter Cushing, if this source is to be believed, is returning in Rogue One. I'm definitely excited to see how that works out. Anyway, guys, that's going to just about do it. It's going to pretty much wrap it up here. So if you guys like Star Wars like I do, that's right, Darth Vader all the way, then you might want to subscribe to keep up with my Star Wars news. You guys take it easy. Thanks for watching. Thank you to my subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next.